It's time to recap a Lifetime movie because I needed something a little better than Tubi. After their mom dies, Diane Robinson, a flight attendant, gets custody of her teenage sister Haley because they are now orphans. Sisters? One of them ran out of ink. They move to a new house, and on move-in day, they meet their next-door neighbor, Jason Parker, who is around Diane's age. While Haley is showing her friend Chrissy the outside of their new house through a video call, Chrissy sees Jason, who has just locked the shed in his backyard, and comments that he is fine. While Diane is away at work, Haley throws a birthday party for Chrissy in their new house, which is also attended by their two other friends, Kevin and Max. Haley sees Jason outside, and a second later, two cops arrive. Carol from social services warns Diane about leaving Haley alone for days, prompting Diane to ask her supervisor to switch her route from international to regional flights. Carol then firmly advises Haley to stop making stupid decisions because once Diane loses custody, she'll be in a group home. How is Diane the older sister when Haley looks a little older? Diane grounds Haley, forcing her to go home directly after school, but allows Chrissy to come over. Haley asks Jason if he's the one who called the cops because she saw him at her party. He says he went to warn her that their neighbor across the street, Miss Henry, loves calling the cops, but he was too late. Later that day, Haley sees Jason flirting with Diane. Diane isn't trying to catch flights, she's trying to catch STDs. Chrissy comes over and gets bored, so she and Haley talk to Jason. Oddly, Jason calls Chrissy beautiful, which could put him on the Diddy list. Their conversation is cut short because he needs to get ready for a date. Later, Jason then looks into Haley's bedroom from his, giving sussy vibes. That night, Haley and Chrissy see Jason arrive home with his date, Layla Taylor. Later, Haley and Chrissy are awakened by Layla's screams, and they see her silhouette appearing to be fighting back as she is pressed against Jason's curtain-covered bedroom window and collapsing to the ground. While Haley is alarmed, Chrissy brushes it off since one may also scream from having good backbreaking activity. Haley half-heartedly lets it go because if she reports it, she won't be able to clearly describe what is so alarming about what she just saw. At breakfast, Diane informs Haley that Jason invited them over for dinner, prompting Haley to inform her that she saw him bring his date home. She then adds in a concerned tone that she and Chrissy heard the woman screaming, and it looked like he might have hurt her. Since Haley has no further proof of her theory, Diane doesn't believe her, saying she has always had a crazy imagination, and chalks it up to adults doing adult things, pissing off Haley. Of course, Diane refuses to see the red flags because she hasn't had a good dick down in a while. Although feeling uneasy, Haley goes with Diane to Jason's house for dinner. Jason shares that he's an engineer and used to do dirt biking competitions when he was younger, which allowed him to travel. He says he moved around a lot and moved there because the weather's better for year-round dirt biking, which is now more of a hobby for him. When Haley excuses herself to go drop a dookie, she goes into Jason's bedroom, checks his drawers, and looks out the window. Jason catches her there, and she explains that she's curious if he can see into her bedroom from his. After he asks if she wants him to look into her bedroom, taking her aback, they both return to the dining area. To Haley's horror, she sees Layla on the news, as she is reportedly missing and was last seen 3 days ago. She takes a photo of Layla and takes note of the tip line number. Haley shows Chrissy Layla's photo to confirm her theory, but Chrissy can't confirm since it was dark and they were not close enough to really see her face. Her blonde hair with pink highlights is also trendy with liberals, so a lot of white women have the same hair. Since she truly believes that they have overheard a murder, Haley borrows Chrissy's car and misses class to trespass and find evidence in Jason's house, thinking he's at work. Haley tries to open the shed in Jason's backyard, but it's locked. When she tries to enter the house through a kitchen window, Jason enters the kitchen. Haley leaves, but Jason sees her walking back to Chrissy's car. Haley reports that she has seen Layla on Saturday night going into her neighbor's house with her neighbor Jason. Haley later sees two detectives talking to Jason, but he seems to have charmed them with his biceps, and they didn't even bother to search his house. Jason then waves at her while smiling. For the next couple of days, Haley plays Harriet the spy on Jason from her bedroom, using binoculars. She also strategically positions her mirror by the window so she can see outside without peeking. Diane catches her with her binoculars, but she doesn't tell her what she's doing. Soon, Haley gets curious about what's in his shed, and through her mirror, she sees Jason looking into her bedroom from his. This man is giving PDF vibes. Haley tells Diane about Layla and begs her not to go out with Jason, but Diane doesn't listen to her because her wig is seeping lead into her brain. During the date, Diane shares about her family, but Jason refuses to share about his. Unbeknownst to them, Haley has followed them and is secretly watching them. While they're packing up to leave, Haley is alarmed to see Jason, who's behind Diane, grab a rope from his truck and stare at Diane weirdly. When Diane turns around, Jason drops the rope and kisses her. At breakfast, Haley asks Diane about their date, to which she says that Jason was evasive about his past and his family. But it isn't suspicious because most guys don't like to open up. When Chrissy comes over, Haley tells her that she can't find Jason online, not even records of him doing dirt bike competitions. But Chrissy chalks it up to him not being a social media guy and probably sucking at the sport. Haley and Chrissy see Jason come home with another mayonnaise date, Samantha. Scared that he might kill his date, Haley trespasses into Jason's house and burns a paper in his kitchen, while Chrissy calls 911 and reports a fire at Jason's. Shortly after, Jason hears his fire alarm, and the firefighters arrive. While Jason talks to the firefighters, Haley, with Chrissy, tells Samantha that Jason went out with her sister and is creepy, prompting Samantha to leave. Seeing this, Jason asks Haley about what she said to her. When she says she didn't know she was his date, and she just mentioned that her sister dated him, he tells her that black people usually mind their business. When they get home, Haley shares with Chrissy that when she was in Jason's house, she saw that his keys are just on a hook right inside the front door. She asks Chrissy to distract Jason next time he's working on his bike outside so she can sneak into his house, grab his keys, and check his shed, and Chrissy hesitantly agrees. A few days later, Haley and Chrissy execute their plan. Inside the shed, Haley sees a red box containing postcards of different cities, which have nothing but dates and kiss marks. She takes a photo of the postcards and returns everything where she found them, except for the Tampa postcard, which she brings with her. Haley shows Chrissy the postcard and tells her what she saw, leading them to conclude that they're crime souvenirs. Since every city and date has a dead or missing woman associated with it and all the details of the cases match, Haley deduces that Jason is a serial killer. After Chrissy wants out for her safety, Haley shares what she discovered with Diane, who chalks it up as a coincidence. Miss Girl must be digmatized. To force Haley to stop because she thinks she's just acting out, Diane bans Chrissy from coming over. Further research online leads Haley to learn that there's a still active, always moving serial killer called the Kiss of Death Killer, who traces victims' lips with their own blood in the kiss of death. With this, she deduces that the kiss marks on the postcards are of the victim's blood, not lipstick. She calls Chrissy to inform her of her discovery and plans to report it to the police and give them the postcard despite having obtained the evidence illegally. The next day, as Haley gets ready to go to the police, she sees Jason loading up his truck with a suspicious-looking thing wrapped in a garbage bag. She assumes he's disposing of Layla's corpse, so she goes to hide beside it. En route, Haley takes a closer look and sees blonde hair sticking out. She then checks her GPS to know where they are going and calls 911. Jason catches Haley, who tells him that he won't get away with getting rid of Layla's body, but he just laughs at her. The police arrive and oh my, he is fine. They search his truck, but it turns out to be just a blonde mannequin, prompting Haley to think that he's taunting her. Jason explains that he teaches a beginner's CPR class a couple of times a month and asks the police to give Haley a ride home. Meanwhile, Carol visits Diane for a check-in and sees Haley being dropped off by the police. Haley explains that she got lost since she isn't familiar with the neighborhood yet and her phone died, so the police offered her a ride. After some routine questions, Carol warns Diane for a third strike. After Carol leaves, Diane learns that Haley had acted on her suspicion about Jason again, so she forbids her to join her friends in their weekend cabin trip. Pissed, Haley writes a post titled, "My neighbor is the Kiss of Death Killer." The next day, Jason tells Haley that he's aware of what she's been doing since he's been watching all of them. When he grabs her and demands that she return what she took, her friends who are picking her up witness it and intervene. As they drive away, Jason takes note of Chrissy's plate number. At school, Chrissy advises Haley to return the postcard and delete the post because she doesn't have solid proof. Meanwhile, Jason arrives at school and attaches a tracker to Chrissy's car. Later that night, Haley notices that Jason isn't home, so she trespasses into his house. When she gets to the garage, Diane, who has followed her, urges her to go home. But Haley follows her instincts and opens a huge fridge, where they find Layla's corpse. Diane is shocked, but I wouldn't have been surprised if she still didn't believe Jason is a killer. Jason, who has followed Haley's friends to the cabin, calls Haley, demanding that she return the postcard. When she tells him he's done because she has found Layla, Jason sends a photo of Chrissy, threatening to kill them all if she doesn't concede. He orders her not to report to the cops or Diane and to come to the cabin. Haley calls Chrissy to warn her, but Chrissy goes out for a better signal, allowing Jason to grab her. He then warns Haley not to disobey him anymore. Haley arrives at the cabin with the postcard and asks Jason, who's waiting for her by a fire, if the reason why it's so important is because it's his first victim and it might help identify who he really is. Jason shares that after losing his parents when he was a teenager, his aunt sent him to boarding school because she couldn't deal with him. He despised feeling invisible, so he grabbed a bat and smashed all the windows of all the cars in the teacher's lot. He found the attention exhilarating, even if he's the only one who knew the truth. He eventually turned to murder, as he wanted his actions to have significance, and the only true permanent thing in life is death, and built a memorable name and reputation. The transition from vandalism to murder is crazy. After Haley guesses that it's his aunt's postcard and drops the postcard into the fire, he says he's going to frame her for her friends' deaths. As he chokes her, Diane grabs him, allowing Haley to hit him with a fire poker. Diane then uses the fire poker to fatally stab him, resulting in his death. I'm sure Diane wanted to be the one being penetrated. Haley and Diane then free Chrissy, Kevin, and Max. Soon it is reported that the Kiss of Death killer is dead, that his real name is Brian Henderson, and that Layla's corpse is found in his rented home. While visiting their parents' graves, Diane tells Haley that she's proud of her and that their parents are surely proud of her too. The way my jaw stayed shut during this entire movie because it was so predictable. What did you guys think of this one?
Hey, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe now and turn on the notification because YouTube isn't recommending my videos. And if you like to watch more foolishness, click here or here.